Hello and welcome back, my dear students, once again to your YouTube channel. In today's video, I shall be continuing with the remaining part of your Act 3 Scene 2. Yes, by now you must have all understood that this video is for my class 10 ICSE students. But before I begin, let me remind you that if you've been finding my videos helpful, they're helping you to understand the texts better and helping you to score more marks, kindly do not forget to give me a like and also to subscribe to my channel. It shall keep me motivated. Alright? So without further ado, let's get started. If you remember, we had stopped at that part in Act 3 Scene 2 where Antony had excited the curiosity of the Roman mob. He had said that I wish that I could read the will of Caesar in front of you all, and the citizens have started demanding that Antony does that. So we will start from there on page 59 and line number 170 onwards. By the way, just to remind you, I've been following this particular edition of your Julius Caesar. This is edited by Roma Gill. Alright, so Antony's speech, line number 170. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. So, Antony starts his second most famous speech in the play by saying, or rather urging the Roman citizens, that if you wish to cry for the tragedy of Caesar, now is the time to do so. You all do know this mantle, and what he smartly does is he picks up the cloak of Caesar. Mantle is the cloak of Caesar, and says, do you all remember this cloak that Caesar used to wear? And he says, I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. It was on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervi. Now the Nervi were a group of tribal people. They had rebelled against Caesar and Caesar defeated them. So on the evening when Caesar defeated them, Caesar had come back to his tent and had put on this cloak. So Mark Antony points to that cloak to remind the citizens of Caesar's bravery and heroism. That day he overcame the Nervi. Look, in this place ran Cassius's dagger through, and there are several holes made on the cloak of Caesar. Okay, because so many conspirators have stabbed him. Right. So he points out to one of those holes and says, see, through this, Cassius's dagger had pierced Caesar's body. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And he's pointing one by one each of the holes and saying, this hole was made by Casca's dagger, that one by Cassius's dagger, this one by Brutus's dagger. Alright. Purposely he's taking the names of the people involved in the conspiracy, so that the Roman mob know by now who all are to be punished. So through this the well-beloved Brutus stabbed, and as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it. Very interesting point to note. First of all, he's saying beloved Caesar, and secondly he's saying beloved Brutus, and then he's saying the moment Brutus stabbed him, there was a gush of blood coming out, as if when others stabbed there was no gush of blood. Why he does this, why Mark Antony particularly says that after Brutus's stabbing, a gush of blood came out, just to highlight the intensity of Brutus's blow, and at the same time to remind the Roman mob that, see, Caesar held Brutus in the highest regard, and what has Brutus done? As rushing out of doors, and how did the blood come out? It is as if something rushing out of the doors to be resolved. if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Caesar loved Brutus dearly. Judge, O you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. See, he is using here double superlative to impress the idea of the intensity of Caesar's action. For when noble Caesar saw him stab, ingratitude more strong than traitors' arms quite vanquished him. And when Caesar saw that even Brutus has stabbed him, he realized how treacherous Brutus has been. He feels humiliated. Caesar feels humiliated and betrayed at the same time. And that is why ingratitude more strong than traitors' arms. Play begins, when Caesar is returning after defeating Pompey's children. Alright. After defeating Pompey, and after Pompey's defeat, it was his sons who were fighting the battle, and he's returning from there. Alright. Now, at that point of time, Brutus as well as Cassius were on Pompey's side. Okay. Naturally, Brutus was arrested, and so was Cassius. But Brutus was an honorable man, and Caesar had a regard for Brutus. Therefore, he wanted to befriend Brutus and granted him a release. Now, after Brutus was granted freedom, what did Brutus do? Brutus also requested for the freedom of Cassius. Why? Because Cassius was the brother-in-law of Brutus. Alright. So, both of them were released, and now see what treachery they have done. Cassius manipulated Brutus, and Brutus joined the conspiracy to eliminate Caesar. So, that is why Caesar feels betrayed. Alright. So, let's come back. Quite vanquished him, then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle muffing up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. So, where is Caesar lying now? At the foot of Pompey's statue. Now, I wish to draw your attention to the fact that, see, how Mark Antony over time has matured as an individual and has evolved as a speaker. If you remember, in the previous scene, when Caesar would be assassinated, Trebonius had taken Mark Antony out. Okay. So Mark Antony was nowhere present when Caesar was assassinated. Then how is he giving out exact details that so many people had stabbed Caesar, and through which hole who had stabbed? It is not possible. So in all probability, Mark Antony is adopting the means of dramatic retelling of the tragedy by using his imagination, or probably he has heard the flow of events from others and he's rendering a dramatic narration of it. But why? To incite the Roman mobs against the conspirators. And also, you see, it's not possible from a piece of cloth which has number of holes in it made to tell exactly who had stabbed when. But then he does that. He points to one particular hole and says, Cassius made this. Another hole is saying Brutus made this. So this is all his imagination, just to incite the Roman mob against the conspirators. Alright. And then say, "Oh, what a fall was there, my countrymen! Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody Stresian flourished over us." So when Caesar fell, it was a great fall. And Caesar did not fall alone, but Caesar fell with all of us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dint of pity These are gracious drops. Now you should be pitiful towards Caesar and cry, and each drop of your tear is a gracious drop. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? When vesture is again cloak. When you are seeing Caesar's cloak so wounded, do you realize the kind of suffering Caesar faced? So, cry. Look you here. Here is himself marred, as you see, with traitors, and he's pointing to the dead body of Caesar and says that he is marred, fatally wounded, and he's lying down. And the mob is excited. The mob says, "Oh, piteous spectacle! Oh, noble Caesar! Oh, woeful day!" Again, fickle-mindedness of the mob. And fourth citizen says, "Oh, traitors, villains! They were all traitors and villains. Oh, most bloody sight! We will be revenged." This is exactly what Mark Antony had wanted. Now the flames of anger is burning such high among these Roman people, that they wish to avenge Caesar's death. This is what Mark Antony had desired. Revenge about, seek, burn, fire, kill, slay, let not a traitor live. So they are going to kill everyone. Peace there, hear the noble Antony. We will hear him, we will follow him, we will die with him. So see, Mark Antony, why did he come down from the pulpit? He had come down to read Caesar's book, but he's not done that. Rather, he's convoluting the thinking process of the Roman mob. This is a hallmark of a true politician. When you cannot help them, confuse them. Antony says, "Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. Oh, I do not wish to make you all a rebel. That they have done this deed are honorable." Please remember, people who've done this, they are all honorable people. So again, Antony is trying to be sarcastic. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not. But then, if they have had some private grudge against these people, then these people had against Caesar, then they might have done the correct thing. That made them do it, they are wise and honorable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I haven't come here to provoke you, my dear friends. I am no orator as Brutus is. Brutus is a better orator than me. This humility of Mark Antony is just a pretense. That love my friend, and that they know full well, that gave me public leave to speak of him. So I come here to speak with the permission of these people. For I have neither wit nor words nor worth, action nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I am not a great speaker, I cannot influence others. I only speak right on, but I only speak what is correct. I tell you that which you yourselves to know, show you sweet Caesar's wound, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. So I only wish to, show you Caesar's wounds, and these wounds are expected to speak for Caesar. So how manipulative and skillful Mark Antony has become. And at the same time, you see, Mark Antony has grown and evolved as a politician. But were I Brutus and Brutus Antony, there was an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. But had I been Brutus, I would have certainly given you fiery speeches that would even make the stones of Rome. The stones of Rome refers to even the inanimate objects move up in mutiny against the conspirators. Citizen says, will mutiny, will burn the house of Brutus. Away then, come, seek the conspirators. Yet hear me, countrymen, you yet hear me speak. Peace, ho, Here, Antony, most noble Antony. So the citizens keep shouting that we are in favor, we are in support of Antony. Antony says, why, friends, you go to do you know not what, wherein had Caesar thus deserved your love? Do you not know why Caesar should have been loved by you all? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. See, all this while he had purposely, kept back reading out the will of Caesar. Now that the citizens are resolved to avenge Caesar's death, he is going to read the will so that it fans the flames of revenge in them. So, you have forgot the will I told you of. Most true, the will. Let's stay and hear the will. So they are willing to hear the will of Caesar. Yes. And here is the will. Antony reads out. And under Caesar's seal. And he takes out a paper with Caesar's seal on it. Now again, as an alert reader, you must realize it's just a piece of paper. And these Romans, they were not really educated enough. So there is no guarantee that it is actually Caesar's will. And what is written in it, nobody knows, because Antony reads it. He does not give it out to the public to read. So whether it is in reality or in actuality Caesar's will or not, we do not know. But then the Roman mob is gullible. So whatever Mark Antony tells them, they believe. So here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives to every several man 75 drachmas. 75 drachmas. Every Roman is entitled to 75 silver coins. Drachmas are silver coins. And the second citizens are happy. Most noble Caesar, we will revenge his death, O royal Caesar. Antony says, hear me with patience. It's just not the end, there is more to it. And peace, who? Antony. Moreover, he has left you all his walks, all the gardens in which he would take leisurely walks are now yours. It will be accessible to you all. His private arbors, his private summer houses are all yours. And new planted orchards on this side of Tiber, he had left them you. So all these things Mark Antony says is written in the will. And to you and to your heirs forever. Not only will you enjoy all this, but your children shall also. Common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. All the places where you can go and enjoy now are yours. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another? So see, such a magnanimous personality was Caesar. Will there be any more Caesar? Such a philanthropic man ever? So Mark Antony very cleverly manipulates the working of the mind of the Roman citizens here. Never, never come away, will burn his body in the holy place. Look at the irony. They say that they were against Caesar all this while. And now they say that they are going to perform Caesar's last rites of burning the body in the holy place. The holy place was the place where the dead would be, burnt. Their funeral rites would be performed only if people took you in the highest regard. But Caesar is now given that. Another thing to know, that this is before Christianity. Okay, see, Julius Caesar is written BC. Okay, so Christianity had not evolved by that time. So the funeral rites involved burning of the dead bodies. And with the brands, fire the traitor's house. And so with that fire only we will burn the house of all the conspirators. Take up the body. Second citizen, go fetch the fire. Plug down benches. Whatever benches are there, plug them down. Break them down. Windows, everything. Anything inflammable should be broken and, used to light up the house of the conspirators. Exeunt citizens with his body and Antony's famous soliloquy comes. He says, "Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. I have already set the ball rolling. Now you're free to do whatever you feel like." At this point of time enters a servant. "How now, fellow? What's the news?" Mark Antony asks. "Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome." Remember, Octavius Caesar was coming and Caesar had asked him to stop because Rome was apparently not a safe place. Now Antony has made Rome a safe place for Octavius. The Roman mob is now sympathetic to Caesar, and that is why Octavius Caesar is welcome here now. Antony, where is he? He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house. They've gone to Caesar's house. Antony, and thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. So he's come when the time is right, when I just wanted him to come. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything. Luck is in our favor now. So whatever we wish, the goddess of destiny will grant us that. And servant gives a very important news. "I heard him say, Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome." Brutus and Cassius were riding their horses and they were running away. And they were running away, they were moving out of Rome like mad people because they were chased by people. Who are these people? The Roman mob have already started chasing them because angry people are chasing them out. Why? Because Mark Antony's words have started to work on them. Antony says, "Belike they had some notice of the people, how I had moved them. They should know, Octavius and Lepidus should know how I have manipulated the Roman mob to do so. Bring me to Octavius. Let me go to Octavius." With this, your Act 3, Scene 2 comes to an end. Okay, a very important scene from your examinations point of view. Antony's speeches are to be learnt and examined very carefully for your examinations point of view. Okay, we'll stop here today. I'll come back very soon with Act 3, Scene 3. Till then, if you find my videos helpful, do not forget to share them with your friends and also to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It shall keep me motivated. See you in the next video very soon. Till then, take very good care of your health and goodbye.